Hey guys, so today is going to be a little bit different. I recently found out that the scented monomer I was using was in fact MMA. They switched their formula and started selling that. So I ordered a bunch of monomer from a bunch of different sites to try to find one that was low odor and worked for me. And the very first order that came in was also MMA. And I had a little trouble. Part of the problem is that I'm a beginner. I didn't go to school. I'm self-taught, so I didn't know what it looked like. People said that MMA was really gummy, and that's how you could tell, but all acrylic, when I soaked it off, looked kind of gummy and mushy to me. And they said sticky. Well, it all looked sticky to me. So, but today, when I actually tested the stuff that had EMA, I got to see the difference up close, and it's really obvious once you see it. So today I'm going to show you the difference, what MMA and EMA will look like when you're soaking it off. You'll be able to tell when you file as well, because MMA is a lot harder. It's almost impossible to file off. It can take hours, but most people soak off. So that's what we're going to do today. So I had lucky me, I had two products with MMA in it, and I had two EMA. And I think I had Model 1's EMA, Model 1's monomer, which is like the cheapest garbage you can get, but it is actually EMA. I have the Glam Trap Houses, which that one's EMA, and then I have s&mnailcandi and Elegant Nail Supply from Ohio, which unfortunately it turns out are both MMA. Also, this is what happens when you put MMA on your hands. It yellows like this because all of my nails were pink and gray like this, and now they are green. So I did these hands at the same time. I used a different monomer on this hand. So that's one way to tell. Now, I went ahead, I used the same tips and the same acrylic for all four of these nails, but I used a different monomer on each one. So we are going to put them in acetone, just like we were soaking off, so that you can see what it looks like, so you'll recognize it. And what I suggest is when you get a new monomer, before you put it on yourself or anybody else or use it, you do a test nail, just like I'm doing right here, so that you know exactly what you're using, because people can put anything on the labels and there's no way for you to know what it is. Like, just because they say so, that doesn't mean anything. Like, obviously, because all of these bottles said EMA. Nobody's going to admit that they're selling an illegal product, but it's so much cheaper than the good stuff that they just put whatever on the bottles and put MMA inside. So it's up to you to be vigilant before you use it on anyone or yourself. Or even the fumes from MMA can be hazardous. So it's up to you to check this stuff. You are ultimately, I mean, obviously the person selling it illegally, because MMA is absolutely illegal. It's a felony to sell it. And ignorance is no excuse. If you're selling MMA, if you're selling anything, it's your job to know what's in it. So saying you didn't know is not an excuse. You need to test it. However, it is ultimately your responsibility to make sure that the chemicals you're using are safe if you're putting them on other people. Morally, it's your responsibility, as well as legally. You absolutely can get in trouble if you put MMA on somebody, even if you didn't know. It's up to you to know, so always test it first. Now, these both have acetone in them, 100% acetone, and I want to show you the difference already. I just put this acrylic on these nails, and you can see how this one is brighter, and this has already taken on a little yellow tint, as well as here. EMA is always going to be brighter and clearer, whereas MMA is going to yellow and be cloudy. So these are both 100% acetone. I'm going to put the MMA in one and the EMA in another and leave it sit for a few minutes, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you what it looks like when you scrape it off. So we're going to let that sit, and then we will be back once it's ready. All right, guys, we are back. Now, we're going to go ahead and pull these out. First, let's look at the EMA, the good ones, okay? Now, I used all new stuff, new containers. I cleaned all my instruments so nothing could be tainted, so, you know, I knew exactly what I was dealing with. This is the Model 1s, which is absolute garbage, cheapest thing you can buy, like horrible, stinks horribly. Now, if it's EMA, it will scrape off like this in chunks. Like it'll be soft, kind of like clay. It'll be like clay, okay? But you see how it's separating when I pull this away? All right. Now we're gonna try the other one. Again, it's gonna be soft and soft like this, but not gummy. So it's gonna come off just in pieces. Ooh, I got one of my hairs on there. So it's gonna come off in pieces. It should scrape off clean, just like that, okay? So you can actually pull it off of the nail. Now, because it is really hard to tell the difference. Now we are going to pull the MMA out. Clean this off. Now this is the one from Elegant Nail Supply. I'm going to use a different scraper here. Sorry. So I don't know if you can see this, how these strings are coming off. Let's get this right up close, okay? So when you go to scrape it off, it's not going to come off clean. It's going to try to stay attached with these gummy strings. See how it looks like snot? See how it's stretching and staying attached this whole time? All right. Now let's get the other one out. Same thing. Same gummy, sticky. Like it's all going to be somewhat sticky, but this literally looks like snot and it won't disconnect. It's going to be stringy like that. And that would be s&mnailcandis. Now, real quick, I just want to show you the regular one again, just so that you know what it's supposed to look like, because, you know, obviously you know what the snot looks like. I want to make sure you got a good up-close look at EMA and what it should look like when you're soaking off. It should be coming off in chunks when you scrape it, not strings. It shouldn't still be attached. It should just scrape off. Just like that. And this is the absolute garbage. And yet still, EMA should come off like clay. See? Oh. Oh. See how it's coming off in layers and chunks and not strings? See how it's not snotty and sticky? Anyway, so if you guys have any questions, comment down below, message me. It's like, see how it's drying? See how the strings are coming off of it? It's still like snot. Anyway, if you guys have any questions, comment down below. If you have any, I guess anyone that you know is selling MMA, contact me and I'll let you know how to contact the FDA to report it, because this stuff can really hurt people. And unless you guys do your part and report it, they're just going to keep selling this crap and hurting people because they think we don't know any better. They know we don't know any better. It's our job to know better. So, thank you for watching. Sorry to get so serious on you guys. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I will put the link, the FDA link to report it, in the comments. If you know someone that's selling it, you can just click the link and do so anonymously. You don't have to give your name or anything like that. But please, if you see this, report it. It's so important. And things like this, if you're unlicensed, can end you if you put this on somebody. So please remember, do your part. Thank you for watching.